round 4 coming at you. We have Oldhim versus Iyslander. Now, this is going to be something else. This is Count Your Blessings Oldhim versus an all arcane Iyslander. I assume that Icelander's looking at Frost Hex combo and things like that. Let's see. We have Crown of Seeds, Heart of Ice, Arcane Lantern, and Well Grounded. I think this should be an interesting game to say the least. I am excited to see how this one plays out. So during CC, Iyslander was pretty favored into Oldhim in my opinion, but like now that might be a little bit different. Really depends on how the game lines up and like what we're looking at and like really how it plays out. I don't know. Because I know that Oldhim is on like respites and things like that now because they're playing Count Your Blessings. So we'll I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So it's Amulet of Ice, Pitch to Coronet Peak, Brick's targeting himself. Interesting. It's also worth noting that this is a win and in for our players, so this should be a good game here. This is a win and in for top 8. We did only have 10 people for our Living Legend tournament, so we decided to cut the top 8 because we thought it would be more fun. And I have to say, I have not been disappointed so far. Activating Heart of Ice here. All right, just starting off with Heart of Ice. Something tells me that this is going to be every single turn. Heart of Ice, hammer. Heart of Ice, hammer. I mean, I can only imagine that like that's Oldhim's game plan is just to stay as high as life total as possible. Probably trying to like play Count Your Blessings to gain 70, 80 points of life if possible. So I don't know. We're gonna see how. I'm curious to see how Brick plays this out because I imagine that there is a combo world where Brick can get there. Although Brick is taking 4 very early on here, which I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest. That it says a lot about Brick's hand. Okay, so Brick's just deciding to play the Fused Ether Ice Vein here with the Channel Lake Frigid. I kind of thought that since Brick had the Sync below, that Brick would have just played Sync there instead of pitching it to play around the Frostbite. Not exactly sure. I'd be curious to know about his decision point there. That feels like an interesting one. And then it's Oasis Respite. Those Rebound Carapace and those Turn Timbers are going to do almost nothing this game. And then Waning Moon here. Pitching 3 through the Frostbite. And let's see. So the Waning Moon actually ends up getting... the Oasis Respite target, so it doesn't matter. So falls down to 41. It's now 41 to 32. Oldhim is now on an Arsenal here. That's the only thing that Oldhim has left is we're just keeping an Arsenal here. And I'm gonna play the Ether Hell here. Okay. Just trying to like really push the tempo here. I kind of like it, to be honest. You're just pushing a lot of damage and you're forcing Oldhim to make a decision now between taking damage or arsenaling. So it's pretty good call there. Brick does end up pushing 5 points of damage there. So puts Matt all the way down to 36. And now we have a Nourishing Emptiness. Now, I don't think there's a chance this is going to connect. We have Crown of Seeds, a card from hand, and Gauntlets, or probably just like a defense reaction. Like there could be a Staunch in Matt's hand. There's quite a few things. We also saw that Matt is playing Turn Timber. So there's a lot. Yeah. And the Turn Timber just automatically comes through, just actually blocking 8. So even if there was something crazy like a pummel here, it wouldn't matter. Well, I guess it could technically matter. I guess blocking 9 on a 6, it could matter since the Well Ground is not active yet. Okay. So Brick throws the Nourishing. Matt is going to start gaining life, plays a Count Your Blessings, and then is going to Arsenal and pass. Curious to see if Brick is able to find like an Insidious Chill or a Frost Hex here. I imagine that Brick is going to be trying to set up as much as possible here. Frost Hex and Insidious Chill have to be the answer to winning games like this. I would think. I can't imagine that there is a different answer. I'm surprised that Brick let that resolve. I would have assumed that he would have wanted to Waning Moon in response to the Crown of Seeds, because now there's just one prevention floating. Not that it truly matters because there's AB2 over there, but still. Pitching an Ether Ice Vein and a Sink Below. Ooh, actually, Matt just takes 2 down to 39. Interesting. Pitches Pulse to throw Winter's Well. Okay. Curious to see how Brick reacts to this. Plays Channel Lake Frigid. Okay. And uses Tunic to come in with the Waning Moon. We'll actually see how Matt decides to respond to this and play around it, because the Frostbite does technically deal a point of damage here. And the Channel Lake Frigid could get a lot of value here. Okay, so Brick just takes 4 down to 28. And then it is Matt just arsenaling here. It's going to be a red Ice Bolt for 5 arcane damage here. So pitching the Polar Blast to be able to keep the Channel Lake Frigid around. And then we're really looking at, I'm assuming here that Matt is going to pitch so he plays Crown of Seeds and then decides to block the Arcane and falls to 36. And then we're just looking at an arsenal here. So, all right. Another Amulet of Ice, looking to get value off that Frostbite text with the Frost text after taking cards out of his opponent's hand here. So Brick doing a good job at setting up here with Amulet of Ice and with Frost Texts so far. Really just trying to make sure that he's continuing to take cards out of the hand and pushing damage where possible. Waning Moon. Waning Moon also pushes damage here. Okay, so Brick was able to push 4 points of damage right there off the back of the Frost Text and the Waning Moon right there. While setting up an Amulet of Ice is looking very powerful. Yo, pitching a red Ether Hell and a Frosting to be able to take cards out of Matt's hand. Matt does play a Count Your Blessings to gain some life here, but one more card coming for Matt. He's going to be required to pitch something. All right, keeping Channel around for another turn means that he's not going to be able to play the Winter's Well here. It's just going to have to be a pass. There's not going to be enough resources with that Channel Lake Frigid in play to be able to do what he wants to here. I imagine Brick is probably going to try and push some more arcane damage here, playing through the Count Your Blessings. How many Count Your Blessings have we seen so far? 3? 4? We've seen 2 blues, a yellow, and a red Count Your Blessings so far, so there's 5 left. So Brick has a long way to go here. Having an opponent that's at 37, we have a long way to go. He's going to be able to pay 1 for the Frostbite arcane damage to stay at 37. I'm really curious to know where that Well-Grounded is able to get the value that that Matt is looking to get out of it. You know, because that Well-Grounded can get a lot of value later in the game after he's able to play like a Felling of the Crown or a Plow Under and really start to try and apply pressure to Brick, because that is going to be how Matt's going to have to win this game. Pitching Heart of Fiendel to play Insidious Chill, one of my favorite things in the world. I love Heart of Fiendel. I love Heart of Fiendel so much. You guys don't even understand how much I love that card. Okay, pause. Matt's going down to 35 here. Interesting. I figured he would have pitched a card to try and keep some life up here. I mean, the name of the game is staying alive at this point. Okay, so he's pitching 2 reds to play this, and then he's going to activate Crown of Seeds. Yeah, probably would have crowned during Brick's turn just to see what we could have found. That is Count Your Blessings number 5. 4 left, and Matt's at 42, so he's now above starting life total. But if Brick is playing the long game here, he's playing for patience, and he truly understands that this isn't a game this isn't one early game. This is won by setting up the Insidious Chills, the Frost Hexes. We're really looking to get as much value as we can later in the game. You're also seeing Brick kind of pitch stack some of these power cards here and wait. Set these up, wait, play a little bit slower, and just wait for the longer the game goes on. And I imagine 1 damage is going to come across here from the 4. He's probably going to pitch. Nope, just kidding. He took 2 because he pitched a Sink Below. I would think that there would be more blues in this Oldhim deck, but maybe I'm wrong. I would have assumed that we're probably looking at like 36 to 40 blues in the Oldhim deck, but I've been wrong before. Okay, so we're pitching Plowlander to activate Heart of Ice here to really force Brick to decide if he wants to do something now or later. And Brick is just going to go Emeritus Scolding for 4 into Waning Moon. So really looking to, again, apply a lot of pressure here and try to make Matt make some awkward decisions. Heart of Ice just giving up the extra resource here. I'm not exactly sure that I like the play of activating Heart of Ice. Like later in the game when it forces them to go off now or later, I kind of like it. But I'm not a huge fan of playing activating Heart of Ice in these early turns. You really want to be just throwing Hammer, leaving resources available to you so that you can have more AB to block with and you're taking less life. Because Iyslander's just going to play them in response, and Iyslander's not super worried about actually playing around. Like, I don't know. I just don't think you're getting the wanted value out of Heart of Ice until later in the game. Okay, Frost Hex number 2. Fruits of the Forest to gain 2 more life here. Okay, so Matt back up to 36. Brick able to set up another Frost Hex. Now let's see what we got working here. What can Matt do with his turn? He pitches an Autumn's Touch to play Channel Lake Frigid. Brick does not respond and then pitches a Hypothermia to the Winter's Well. This is the best way you can do it because it helps you get value by making sure that you're able to check the channel to keep it around, but you're also able to get the value off the Winter's Well by pitching the Hypothermia second. Ooh, Brick giving up a red Ether Ice Vein right there. Curious to know what's in the rest of his hand. Could be another setup piece, like this could be an Insidious Chill Brick's looking to play. No, we're just looking at playing an Ether Hell here. Trying to clear something out of the arsenal to make sure that we got an okay play here. Now, admittedly, this does cost 1 more because of the Channel Lake Frigid, but Brick had a red card in his arsenal, so it didn't really matter that much. 1 arcane damage comes across from the red Ether Hell here. Uh-oh. Looking at a Summer's Fall, this is pretty good. Red Summer's Fall is actually insane in this matchup. It's going to give him the ability. Is it any aura? An action card, if you do, put up to 1 target aura on the bottom of its owner's deck. So you could actually target the Frost Hex here and really slow Brick down. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember looking at this correctly, I'm pretty sure Matt is on blue and red. So I think that he's going to be able to get a lot of value by continuing to put those Frost Hexes on the bottom over the course of the game. I'm also curious to see if Brick responds here and how we play this out. So there is no Decompose. Really? Oh my gosh, he can't. He can't Decompose there. And now the 3rd Frost Hex is into play. That is absolute insanity. So because Matt was not able to Decompose there was not another action card in the graveyard. That is incredibly bad. And it actually leaves Matt in a very awkward spot because he has 5 instants and a reaction and then 2 action cards before the Summer's Fall and the Channel Lake Frigid. So yeah, wow. That was crazy. I did not see that coming at all. Because of that small misstep from Matt, Brick has now been able to put 3 Frost Hex into play and 1 Insidious Chill with 2 Amulets. So we could see a really big turn coming from Brick pretty soon here. Felling of the Crown will be able to Decompose here. Going to be able to get 2 Earth cards and probably the Channel Lake Frigid, leaving an Earth card for the next time he's looking to get value. Leaving that Felling of the Crown, which means it only takes 1 more action card to be able to really get the get that Decompose value. There are a lot of instants in the graveyard though. Matt has really prioritized playing a lot of the instants earlier on in the game. All right, Felling of the Crown coming in for 4 because there's only 2 Decompose cards, there's only 2 Earth cards in his graveyard. So we're not looking at having that Felling of the Crown turned on just yet. Brick does fall down to 21. 3 damage comes through from the 1 Frostbite. Insane. Insidious Chill number 2. Brick is really looking to probably, honestly, Like, if there's a turn where, like, we're able to take tempo and then Matt taps out, there's probably a pretty good chance that, like, Brick could really, really get the value he wants here. Okay, he responds to the Heart of Ice by playing Energy Potion, and then we could activate Waning Moon. I guess it really depends on what the contents of Brick's hand looks like. Count your blessings. Gain 7 life, back up to 39. I believe that is the 6th copy of Count Your Blessings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so there's only 3 more copies. There is 1 blue, 1 red, 1 yellow left in the deck. And it is going to be Waning Moon. And Brick deals 2 arcane damage to put him back to 39. Last Insidious Chill. Last Insidious Chill. This is as good as it gets for Brick. He has an E-Pod in play, 3 Amulets, 3 Insidious Chills, and 3 Frost Hexes. I don't really know how it gets any better for Brick at this point. And 37 life, as we've seen in the past from Iyslander, is actually very, very doable here. It is very reasonable to think that that Brick could kill Matt from 37. Now, with Oasis Respites and extra life gain in the deck, Brick will have to be careful to not, like, lose everything in one sitting. But it is very possible that Brick could win the game in one turn here with this setup. At this point, I imagine the thing that Brick is trying to fade is another Summer's Fall, because we have 2 Earth cards and we have an action card in the Winter's Bite. So we're probably looking... Brick is probably trying to dodge... Brick is probably looking to try and dodge a Summer's Fall at this point. That would be the big one. Brick just passes his turn. No activation of Coronet Peak or anything. Just passes here. Interesting. What's happening? Okay, so Brick is going to block 6. Stay at 21, no Frostbite. Coronet Peak pitching the Ice Eternal. Ice Eternal, we were just talking about Brick's combo and how, like, Brick can try to end the game, and Ice Eternal is that card that can try to set up to end the game here for Brick. So we're seeing Brick stacking, playing patiently, waiting here. Matt playing the Count Your Blessings Oldhim deck means that he's not really going to be able to actually get a ton of value. Like, there's not a lot of pressure he can apply. It is mostly just Winner's Well over and over and over and over again. And that's really, like, how he looks to end the game. We're seeing a Sink Below. This is the last Sink Below of this cycle. He has already pitched 2. So whenever we come back around to that Sink Below, we're going to know that we pitched it pretty early on in the game and that we're back to second cycle. I believe this is 6, no Dominate, just 6 here. Maybe Matt makes a little bit of a mistake, all things considered here, but I'm assuming that he's going to give up Gauntlets of Iron Will. He hasn't seen anything else that he can really look to be blocking with, so I would be giving up equipment here if I could. Again, we want to save the Well-Grounded because that does actually block, like, arcane damage, which can be more effective for us. Getting value out of the Rebound Carapace, which is great because it actually gives him the ability to decompose here. Okay, he chooses not to decompose there. Plays a Count Your Blessings. What is this? This is the last red one, so there's 2 others left. So it's 3 and 5. So he's going to gain 8 life here. If I'm counting correctly, he's going to gain 8 life here. 9 life. I counted incorrectly, apparently. Yeah. 5, 3, and 6 is 9. Yep. Dudoi. Math. Okay. 25 life separates our players right now. There are 2 copies of Count Your Blessings left, a yellow and a blue, which means 2 and 7 and 1 and 8. So we're really looking at 9 and 9. We have 18 points of life left in Matt's deck here, just off of Count Your Blessings, and we also have copies of Oasis Respite. So there are multiple ways that he can gain life from here and really try to pad his life total. And I'm going to be honest, with 3 Insidious Chills, 3 Amulets of Ice, and 3 Frost Hexes, I don't know that it's enough. I don't know that that's enough to actually be able to close this game out. This is, I think, maybe just too much. Oh, Brick's going for it. Brick's going for it here. Brick is on his own turn going for it, which is what he needs to do. He needs to take all the cards out of Matt's hand right now so that he can then go into Matt's turn and actually go for the kill. He just needs to make sure that he's still arsenaling something very powerful here. Fuse with a Channel Lake Frigid. So this is going to be for 3, create 3 Rune Chants. Oasis Respite targets the Ice Eternal, I imagine. It doesn't say. Yeah, he did target Ice Eternal. Okay, so now Matt is forced into paying. Okay, 2 floating after all that comes in. Dealt 0 damage from the Ice Eternal. Brick can now pitch the Channel Lake Frigid to the Waning Moon if he'd like to, leaving Matt with 3 Frostbites. Decides not to make that play. Wants to give an extra Frostbite here and try to push a bunch of damage. When Matt goes to end the turn, Brick is probably about to have a heyday. This is exactly the kind of window that Brick was looking for and can try to get the game in on this time frame here. Let's see, and our round does end at 4:15. It's currently 3:45, so we have plenty of time left. It's not like we're in worries of running out of time. Just want to make sure that I'm keeping all of our players on a strict schedule here. Okay, so Channel Lake Frigid. Waning Moon puts him to 43, and then it's 4 times 3. So it's going to be 12 extra damage. Down to 31. Okay, so Brick had that really nice turn and actually ended up taking Matt all the way down to 31. So we were able to push quite a bit of damage there. The Summer's Fall. This. I knew this was going to come back around. The Summer's Fall. Now, it's not necessarily coming back around, but we knew the Summer's Fall was going to be able to get a lot of value here. He can put one of the Frost Hexes on the bottom. I was really hoping that Brick had a better turn to be able to push a lot of damage here, because if he was, then he could have dealt a lot more damage here than just the actual 15 that he dealt. With the 2 Frost Hexes in play, his damage is naturally reduced quite a bit here. It is a little tough to reduce, the Frost Hex takes away. The Frost Hex here takes away a bunch of damage off of Brick's side of the board that he's looking at. Okay, so there's that first sink below. We're now back around a pitch stack, which means we're going to be looking at some Red Ether Ice Veins. We're going to be looking at I think we're going to be looking at using that pitch stacked Ice Eternal that we saw to be able to really try and close the door here. We saw a couple of pitch stacked Ice Eternals, if I'm not mistaken. There's only been one so far. Yeah, there's been a couple of them that were pitch stacked. Red Ether Ice Vein. We're pitching a blue Ether Ice Vein, fusing with a Polar Blast. Okay. So this is where a lot of those... this is where a lot of the cards for Matt being defense reactions are Failing of the Crown. Those reds are a little awkward here. And so we're going to see how he pays for this. He chooses to discard because it actually lets him keep one more resource than he would have had if he would have paid. Down to 37. Nope, just kidding. Matt undid their last action here. Okay, I'm not sure what we're trying to undo here, or how we're going to play this back. It looks like Brick and Matt may be having a discussion about the turn, trying to figure out what happened here. Brick is going to pitch Polar Blast to activate Waning Moon to put Matt down to 35. Brick arsenals a card, and we're going to see what this turn looks like. Matt goes to pass. Man, I have to admit, Polar Blast feels a little not great. Feels like we could be doing some better things here, if I'm being honest. This doesn't feel like a super explosive turn here. This is worth 5 points of damage to be able to put Matt down to 30 at this point, but I have to admit, this is not the combo turns that are going to win the game for Brick here, with there still being more copies of life gain in the deck. Brick goes back to 20, and then this is going to be 6 arcane damage here. Matt does not have crown, but he does have wool grounded if he needs it for something. So he's actually able to... Oh, is he just taking 6 here? Wow, he just took 6. Interesting. His hand must be pretty solid if that's the case. Curious to know what you would just take 6 for in a game where you're seeing your opponent having, like, you know, having Exodia assembled as far as everything's concerned. Pitching to Heart of Ice. This is that all red hand. This is that all red hand for Matt, I'm pretty sure, that we're coming back around to. We're coming back around to all these reds, and it's just making it so awkward. Because if Brick can smell that they're all reds here, Brick could go for the kill if his hands line up. It could be the game-winning hand. Although going for it on Matt's turn is not the way that you do this. You need to have a big turn on your turn, and then you need to kill him on Matt's turn after you take all the cards out of his hand. Brick does just let Heart of Ice resolve. And then Matt passes. Interesting. I wonder if that was a bait from Matt. I wonder if that was just a straight up bait. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I have to imagine that this is Brick going for the win. Preventing one from the Ether Ice Vein is fine. This turn is about taking cards out of your opponent's hand. This is what you're looking to accomplish as the Iyslander player. Discards a Sink Below. Pitches a red Summer's Fall. Last card coming. Pitches a blue Winter's Bite. With the one floating from the Ripple Away, I think Matt should have discarded the Summer's Fall. And then, after he discarded the Summer's Fall, he would have been better off to pitch the Winter's Bite, have 2 floating, and then prevent some damage there. Okay, Brick, this is your turn, I think. I think this is what you're looking for here. You need to get 12 Frostbites in play, which is somehow, with E-Pots, feasible. Here we go. This is the combo turn. This is what he's looking for. This is what Brick has been trying to set up. He's going all in right here to see if he can cross the finish line. Ice Eternal from Arsenal. That's exactly what Brick wanted to see. You have the ability to use the Metacarpus node here as well. Okay, there it is. He's fusing with an Ice Bolt. He's going to pitch the Ice Bolt to the Metacarpus node, I would think. That gives him 6 Frostbites and puts him down. Waning Moon puts him to 15. No, I was like, I think we played that. No, he's just going to let it happen. And he's going to let Matt fall down to 6? Are there more copies of Count Your Blessings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 2 more copies of Count Your Blessings left. I think that might have been a mistake. Could we have gotten there by dealing 1 extra point from the... Could we have got... No, I don't think the Metacarpus node gets there. Maybe we didn't have everything we needed that turn. Okay, Brick again, trying to push as much damage as he can here. AB2, take 1. AB2, take 1. This is coming in for 4. We now have Matt down to 4. Giving up Coronet Peak and Tunic is Brick. Going down... interesting blocking choice. I'm assuming that Brick is saying he has the game here. Brick is saying that he has the game. Count Your Blessings. This is what I was worried about. The Count Your Blessings is exactly what I was worried about. He falls down to 10 and then just passes. Matt is probably just going to pass. He could throw Hammer here if he wanted to get aggressive, but I don't think that's a winning line. Considering you're at 10, Brick could kill you here. it is very feasible to me that Brick could actually win the game here with the 2 Frost Hex in play. Okay, Matt, just kind of thinking here. I'm not really sure what Matt's considering at this point. Matt passes, which it feels like is the only feasible play in my opinion. After Matt passes, we kick it back to Brick, who's deciding how he should respond. Emeritus Scolding is very good and does push a lot of damage, but it doesn't give us the necessary frostbites we need to try and win the game. Pitching an Ice Bolt here. Emeritus Scolding deals 2 damage. 1 floating. Brick has to decide from here, can he win the game? I think Brick giving up his Tunic and Coronet Peak was incorrect there. He could just be at 16 right now. Okay, Brick's deciding to come in with the Waning Moon here. He's going to pitch a Cold Snap. This will inevitably put Matt down to 6. There were 0 frostbites made on that turn, so there were no exchanges of the Frost Hexes actually getting the damage we want. Metacarpus Node Stormstrider still available to us. Brick arsenals and passes. It's been a 24-turn game. This has been a very good game so far. You're definitely seeing the longevity that Iyslander presents and the value that it can get. Okay, here we go. Plow Under. I'm assuming we have Decompose turned on. Yeah, we do. We have a Summer's Fall and Autumn's Touch, and we have a Felling of the Crown. We're actually probably going to go Well-Grounded, Summer's Fall, and then banish one of the other ones as the Earth card. Or as the action card, I mean. So this happens. If Brick is going to use his arsenal, it has to be now. The Plow Under can get rid of Brick's arsenal, but Iyslander has the ability to play at instant speed. Okay, going for the Ice Eternal right here. How much are we pitching is the question. We're pitching for 4, not even pitching for the full amount here. Curious to know what kind of red we have in hand. Now from here, we're probably looking at activating Amulet of Ice. 2 arcane damage and 2 frostbites. 1 floating, Amulet of Ice. Gets rid of the Sink Below. Now we have 1 floating resource. Okay, Emeritus Scolding is going to close the door. Yep, Emeritus Scolding is exactly what we needed. So this comes in for 2. Or I'm sorry, this comes in for 3 and he blocks and goes to 4. The Emeritus Scolding wins the game. I have to admit, there was a little bit of a window there where it felt like I didn't know if Brick was going to get there with the amount of Count Your Blessings left on the deck, but, you know, they were probably hidden by Crown of Seeds throughout the game by Matt, and it seemed like Matt wasn't able to get back around to the last one that he needed to be able to stay alive there, and Iyslander showing her powerful side and takes it home.